Good day everyone, I am Laeti Simbrano from Basic Science 2A. So this time, I will going to discuss about the 5 circles of sexuality. So first, let us define what is sexuality. So sexuality is much more than sexual feelings or sexual intercourse. It is an important part of who a person is and what she or he will become. It includes all the feelings, thoughts, and behaviors of being female or male, being attractive and being in love, as well as being in relationship that include sexual intimacy and physical sexual activity. So the first circle of sexuality is sensuality. So when we say sensuality, it is an awareness and feeling about your own body and other people's bodies, especially the body of a sexual partner. It allows us to enjoy the pleasure our bodies can give us and other. So, examples of these are body image and experiencing pleasure and release from sexual tension. So, why is it that this body image belongs to sensuality? It is because body image, whether we feel attractive and proud of our own bodies and the way they function, influences many aspects of our lives. Next is experiencing pleasure and release from sexual tension. Sensuality allows us to experience pleasure when we or others touch certain parts of our bodies. So next circle is all about sexual intimacy. So what is sexual intimacy? So it is the ability to be emotionally close to another human being and accept closeness in return. So sharing intimacy is what makes personal relationship rich. So while sensuality is all about physical closeness, this sexual intimacy focuses on emotional closeness. So it has several aspects. First is liking or loving the person. So why is it that liking or loving the person is one of the aspects of sexual intimacy? It is because having emotional attachments or connection to others is a manifestation of intimacy. Next is emotional risk taking. Emotional risk-taking is person must open up and share feelings and personal information. We take a risk when we share our thoughts and emotions with others. But it is possible to be really close to another person without being honest and open with them. So example, romantic relationship. That is the example of sexual intimacy. But note, your relationship doesn't necessarily to be romantic or to engage sex to have an intimacy. So the relationship between you and your friends and other loved ones is an intimacy as well. Next, the third circle is all about sexual identity. So when we say sexual identity, it is a person's understanding of who he or she is sexually, including the sense of being male and female. It is how we perceive ourselves as human beings. So, sexual identity can be thought as of 3 interlocking pieces that together affect how each person sees herself or himself. So, the first interlocking pieces of sexual identity is gender identity. So when we say gender identity, it is one's internal experience of their gender. Next is a gender role. It is knowing what it means to be male or female. Next is sexual orientation, whether a person's primary attraction towards others. So each piece of interlocking pieces of sexual identity is very important. So next, the fourth circle is reproduction of sexual health. These are the person's capacity to reproduce and the behaviors and attitudes that make sexual relationships healthy and enjoyable. So, it implies that people are able to have satisfying and safe sex life, the capability to reproduce, and the freedom to decide if, when, and how often to do so. So, there are specific aspects of sexual behavior and reproduction that belong in this circle. So the source of this is from Life Planning Education Advocates for Youth, Washington, D.C. So the first aspect of this is factual information about reproduction. So it is necessary to understand how male and female reproductive organs work and how conception occurs. So why is it necessary to know about reproduction and sexual health? It is because for us to understand how male and female reproductive organs work and how conception occurs. Now, it is very important for us to know, especially to the adolescents, because they need information that is essential for making informed decisions about sexual behavior and health. So, adolescents typically have inadequate information about their own and their partner's bodies. So, that is why we need factual information about reproduction. Next is feelings and attitude. It is wide ranging when it comes to sexual behavior and reproduction, especially health related topics such as sexually transmitted diseases and the use of contraceptions. So, talking about these issues can increase adolescents' self-awareness and empower them to make healthy decisions about their sexual behavior. So next is sexual intercourse. One of the common behaviors capable of producing sexual pleasures and pregnancy. So all people needs information about this one. So next is contraceptive information. Describes all available contraceptive methods, how they work, where to obtain them, and their effectiveness and side effects. So even if young people are not currently engaging in sexual intercourse, they will in the future. So we will in the future. So we must know how to prevent pregnancy and diseases. Last circle is sexualizations. So sexualization, aspect of sexuality in which people behave sexually to influence, manipulative, or control other people. Often called shadowy side of human sexuality, sexualization span behavior that range from harmlessly manipulative to sadistically violent and illegal. So sexual behaviors includes flirting, seduction, withholding hand sex from an intimate partners to punish him or her to get something, sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and rape. So that is why we need to practice skills to avoid or fight against unhealthy sexualization should it occur in our lives. Sexually in adolescents youth is age 13 to 19. Once youth reach puberty and beyond, they experience increased interest in romantic and sexual relationships in genital sex. As youth mature, they experience strong emotional attachments to romantic partners and find it natural to express their feelings within sexual relationships. Moreover, adolescents explore relationships with one another, fall in and out of love, and mostly engage in sexual intercourse before the age of 20. Next topic is all about the chemistry of lust, love, and attachment. So there are physiological and psychological aspects in turned on being in love and attached to another person. The chemistry of love, lust, and attachment lies in our brain. Brain is human most important sex organs. So, the unexplained mechanism responsible for sexual attraction lies in the brain and not in genital areas. So, let us discuss what is lust. So, lust is strong feeling desire. This is a phase which is driven by the sex hormones, the testosterone and estrogen in both men and women. So testosterone came from men while estrogen came from women. These two basic types of hormones excite the feeling of lust within the brain. Why there is lust? It is because of the estrogen and testosterone that excite the feeling of lust within the brain. Next is love. This phase is said to be one of the beautiful moments in life. This is the phase when a person actually starts to feel the love. This is a missing time when you are truly love struck. So there are three neurotransmitters that are involved in this stage, which is the adrenaline, dopamine, and serotonin. So these three neurotransmitters is the reason why we felt love. So next is attachments. A bond helps the couple to take the relationship to advanced levels. It instigates the feeling of bearing children and falling in love with them wholeheartedly. Two hormones influence in this feeling of attachment are oxytocin and vasopressin. So that's all. Thank you and God bless.